increasing your intake of liquid, water, and the various products I just recommended might be that might be a significant factor in increasing energy when you're over 50. Hi, welcome to the Judy Terrell Show, where I explore topics intended to optimize everybody 50, 60, 70, and above. Hi, everybody, and welcome again to Your Second 50. You are joining me in episode number 2 in my number 12 series of what foods or what can you ingest on a daily basis and make part of your daily life habit patterns that can help you to have more energy as you are aging, as you're in your 50s, your second 50 years on the planet, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, hopefully. So welcome, everybody. And this is episode number 2 in my 6-part series on what can you take in to help your energy skyrocket as you're getting older. All right. I am focusing in this series, not on supplements, not on medications, not on non-natural ways to get more energy, but what can we change in our daily intake or modify or enhance so that we change a habit pattern and we're taking things that I'm recommending, these 6 things, in on a daily basis that are known to help to increase energy. And they're known to help to increase energy based on the evolution of this amazing, amazing vehicle that we live in, this body that we have, and its millenniums of development on the planet and its wisdom. All right. And we're going to stay in harmony with that. That is what the 6 things I've chosen to tell you about that will increase your energy in this series are generated and have been chosen for that from that criteria. All right. What is a natural behavioral thing that you can take to help with energy? So just to clarify, I've been in practice for 42 years. I am 60 years old myself, and I've specialized in 50 plus men and women both for over a decade. And I work with, generally it's like 55 to 75. That's my most prevalent demographic that I'm seeing on a regular basis right now. And I am a health coach, and I've been in the trenches with everybody for, day in and day out for 42 years. So I have a huge database I listen to people and I say, what are the things I'm hearing over and over again from this particular demographic, 50 plus men and women? And then what can I offer that I've learned to help with these patterns that people are presenting with? And wanting to have more energy and needing to have more energy is every single day. I average about 8 to 10 clients a day, 5 days a week, and at least 2/3 of them wanting and needing more energy is part of the theme that is presented. Okay, men and women both. So that was the evolution of this particular series. And now this is episode number 2. And what I'm going to talk about today in this episode is it's necessary for life, and it is water, liquid water, okay? Many, many, many of the clients who come to see me are significantly, if not somewhat, low in hydration level in our bodies. The average human body should be somewhere between 45 and 65% water, right? You well know that, if you don't have water for an extended 7 days, you will die. All right. And so water is necessary for life. All right. But now when we take water into our bodies, all right, it is not necessarily utilized the way we think it is when we think about water out here in the environment. All right. And I want to say a little bit about this so that you understand why I'm recommending drinking more water and being better hydrated as a behavioral pattern for increasing energy. All right. So we drink water, H2O molecules. Okay. And we take that into our body. And yes, in our body, in our blood is like water. It's liquid. Our lymph system is liquid. We have water in our cells. We have water outside of our cells, and a certain amount should be there. When it's too much water outside the cells, that's inflammation. That's not necessarily great. if it's not episodic, but that's a different topic. But water in our body does behave like water outside our body. But why water is so important to energy, and why it's my second one in my 6-part series that I'm highlighting for you to take in for energy, is that H2O molecules get into our body. We go in our digestive system, gets picked up by the bloodstream through the mucous membrane of our digestive system, and then carried out through the blood, through the capillaries, into the cells of our body, where those molecules enter into the chemical reactions that go on there. And what happens is the H2O molecule gets broken apart, and hydrogen ions and O2 molecules enter into the Krebs cycle, which occurs in our mitochondria. And I'm sure if you're alive on the planet and older right now, you're hearing things about mitochondria relative to longevity and energy. Because just to use layman's terms, the mitochondria are things in our cells. These are nano like size things, but they are like the furnaces of our cells where energy is now produced, okay? Or broken, things are broken down to produce the energy. So H2O, water, goes into the Krebs cycle in the mitochondria in our cells, breaks apart into hydrogen and oxygen parts, chemically carries around things into this energy equation where energy is being produced, okay? And then goes back together as a water molecule, and then gets carried out through our urine or our breath or our sweat, and then new H2O molecules come in, because we have to be taking in water on a daily basis or we die, okay? So I hope that clarifies for you, because I take time to explain this to my clients, because if someone's coming to see me individually, I have machines and devices that I can measure things. This is a printout from somebody's body composition analysis. And what I'm able to see here, as I'm showing you, is I can calculate percent water, and I get to see exactly how many pounds of water is in a body. Hence, I can calculate the percentage. And long story short, I am literally have data points to tell you that even someone who's healthy in other ways may be low in hydration. And if I see that, measure it, and then I tell them what I'm going to tell you as to how much water should you take in, not only do they feel better, but they report higher energy, all right, because they were underhydrated. I am so excited to announce your second 50.life. I have been working in the fitness industry with individuals, both men and women, over 50 years old for 42 years, and really specialized in the last 10 on over 50. I'm over 50 myself by a long shot. And I've helped literally thousands of men and women both to lose the extra body fat that they gain in the second half of their life, to feel better in their own bodies energetically. I have helped people to reverse and eliminate health problems, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, pre-diabetes, symptoms of menopause, to name just a few. On this platform, you will have access to an entire body of resources, exercise videos, mini courses, eating plans that are specially designed for over 50 men and women, because there's special needs for our demographic. And in addition to the virtual resources that you'll have access to if you join at any time that you'd like, you also have access to me for one-on-one coaching through a group coach call every month. So you can bring your specifics and we can address those as you're also getting information that is specific to the over 50 population. 50s, 60s, 70s, and now 80s is the demographic that I'm working with. So it's your second 50.life, YOURSECOND 50.life. Go check it out. It might be the single best thing that you've looked at like in your second 50s. And if you think about this, if you don't have the H2O molecules to go into these mitochondria and you're at a deficit, it's like you're still going to produce energy, because it's not like you have no water that you're taking in. But if there's not enough, it's kind of like a car engine operating with 1 quart of oil instead of 4. It's going to operate, but it's going to operate really unoptimally. All right. And that's what happens to our body. It's like our mitochondria are striving to produce more energy, but there isn't this H2O molecules coming in to break apart to carry the other substrates to produce the energy. So it's like arrested for energy conduction. All right. So that is why in this series, water is so important, because it is absolutely necessary to be at an optimal level for energy production. All right. So I hope I've sold you on that point. I hope I've explained it in a way that makes it understandable to you, because we hear things all the time. It's like, oh, you need this amount of water. And like, but why? Now you know why from an energy point of view. And like I said, everybody that I work with over 50, definitely over 60, is looking for more energy. All right. So we now know water, so important to the chemical reactions in our mitochondria for the production of energy. So we need to have water. All right. Now, as we get older, we lose our thirst reflex. And so when we were younger, you could rely on your own thirst to kind of keep your body in this optimal 45 to 65% water, depending on if you're male or female or your size of your body. We can't rely on that as we get older. It's just not as proficient. It's not as vital. It's not as accurate as when we were younger. So you can't necessarily go by just thirst. By the time you're thirsty, you may be too low, significantly too low for an extended period of time. All right. So now it's like, so how much water should I take in? Right. And there's some rules of thumbs. The number one rule of thumb is half your body weight in ounces per day. So if you weigh 150 pounds, that would be 75 ounces per day. But I will tell you that I have clients that are drinking half their body weight in ounces. And then when I do their analysis, they might either be high, good in hydration, that works for them, or that might still not be enough for that person, because they're saying they're drinking that amount and they're still underhydrated and not feeling their best from an energy point of view. So what I tend to do with my clients is I don't like to use that formula. Although I will sometimes. I tell the client, I want you to tally up what are liquids that you're drinking that are not calorie. I don't want you to count soda. I don't want you to count juice. I want you to count these things, all right? And these are the things I'm recommending to take in for water. So clearly, water of all sources. You can do reverse osmosis water. You can do, a smart water with electrolytes infused in it. You can take in regular tap water, well water, spring water, which has chelated minerals into it from its sources in the earth. And chelation means minerals are attached to the water molecule, and then you drink it, and it's a good thing. Teas, green tea in particular for energy. I covered that in a longevity series I did. ECGC, which is in green tea, very good for longevity. So tea, and then, like I said, sparkling waters. Those are the hydration products that I recommend. And now, how much should you take in? I tell my clients, don't change anything and take a couple days and actually add up. Don't say you know how much you're having. I want you to keep a little sticky note. I tell people, keep this near you and say 8 ounces, 2 ounces, 16 ounces. And then by the end of the day, total that up. Don't just do one day. It might be an outlier day. Do several days. 2 or 3 days is what I usually ask for my clients. And then average. How many averages of ounces are you taking in a day? And then up it by 20. Up it by 20 ounces. And then take a week or 2 weeks. Be consistent with it. 20 ounces more than what you were doing, because you don't want to flood your kidneys and then go from 60 ounces a day up to 120. Not that your body can't necessarily handle that. It just can't handle it so rapidly. The body is very much a process. It doesn't like severe changes in anything. So you have to progress that. So 20 ounces more than what you're doing isn't going to, overwhelm your body. And then you observe, how's my energy? You're keeping relatively everything else the same in order to get a real good view of this. And if you're starting to feel like you're noticing something, then stay with that extra 20 ounces. Or maybe you want to go another 10 ounces up after 2 weeks and see what you observe from there. So I don't feel like there's really one formula for hydration for individuals. So you have to do a little experimenting. But if you're looking for more energy and you're feeling like a level of fatigue that you feel like it's just not normal, that you can definitely enhance it. And I don't mean fatigue like something's wrong. Go to your doctor if that is the case. Get some other things checked out. But something as simple as being underhydrated enough that it's affecting that Krebs cycle in your mitochondria and you're not able to produce the highest amount of energy, increasing your intake of liquid, water, and the various products I just recommended might be that might be a significant factor in increasing energy when you're over 50. Okay, everybody, so I'm really happy that you joined me on this episode. I hope that you got something, that you learned something from this. It's very important to me that I put out things in a way that is understandable for the average person. So it's not just like a rule that you should follow, but like why? Because I have found, I have a psychology master's degree. So my approach is that if a client understands why you're being told to do something, then you're more apt to do it than if you just have been told, well, this is why you need to do this. And then there's it's just a rule or it's a recommendation or whatever. We tend to not be as adherent to that. But when we understand and it makes sense to us, our success at following it is significantly enhanced in my observation with my clients and honestly with myself. So water. You want more energy? Take a look at your hydration levels. If you have somebody around you that can measure yours, try and get that. There's many scales that are out that are not expensive. Their accuracy might not be 100%, but it'll be close enough. They'll tell you your hydration level. And if you're not in the range, then you need to up your intake of your fluids. All right, so that is my series episode number 2 in my series on what can you naturally do on a day-to-day basis when you're over 50, male and female, to enhance your energy. Stay tuned, please. I've got 4 more episodes. This is a 6-part series. Go back and watch episode number 1 if you haven't seen it. Please check out my platform, yoursecond50.life, because I have this kind of information. What are things that you can naturally do that are going to improve and make your second 50 years on the planet even better than your first? That is my agenda for myself. I want friends alive on the planet with me that are in my age group that I can play with when I'm in my 90s, 100, maybe 110, and having, viable, I'm not, full of life till the day we pass this earth. All right. So please check out the platform, check out my website, check out my different resources I have on both of those. You can catch me on Instagram, Facebook. The outtake is going to show you where you can go for those. Thank you for watching, everybody. Until I see you again, have a fantastic, phenomenal day, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for listening, everybody. And if you'd like to have access to more of my resources, then you can reach me at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can go to my new platform at yoursecond50.life. That is yoursecond50.life, or at my website www.judyterrell.com.